When I first saw the teaser for this episode, the first thing that came to mind was concern, especially since it had a Arabic character that could potentially be a stereotype. But after seeing the initial episode and learning more about it, I thought it was a pretty decent representation. I did some research before making this podcast episode and learned quite a bit about the Arabic stereotypes. Beforehand, I was mostly familiar with the terrorist stereotypes that we see in projects like Indiana Jones and even Aladdin. But I do want to point out that even at points that could have made him more stereotypical by having him act aggressively towards the characters, such as when he learns he's been deceived, he is really calm about it, thereby removing any trace of the aggressive stereotypes that we usually associate with negative depictions of the Middle East. He never really acts violent towards anyone and only uses his sword as a means of defense and not to threaten anyone. There are some lines from the other characters that suggest aggressiveness, such as having their hide/skins if they don't find the lamp, but the character of Jin himself isn't really in any way a villain. He's just a silent type hero who values the treasures not for the monetary gain, but for the stories they tell and the journey to getting it. I do want to point out though that after getting the official art book for the DuckTales series, I learned some information that was a real game changer for my opinions on this character. Jin is actually the reboot version of the character Dajan, who is more of an offensive stereotype in comparison. Not only is he a villain, he is voiced by a white person doing an accent in comparison to how the reboot uses a person of Middle Eastern descent. He is a pickpocket thief with a droopy nose that resembles the hook nose we associate with stereotype Middle Eastern villains. He is dressed in ragged clothes, and to top it all off, he's under the employment of the assumingly Caucasian villain, Murloc, whom he refers to throughout the film as Master. Just from the voice alone, you can tell that this character was intentionally meant to be offensive. But after seeing and comparing the episode of the reboot to the original film, I am really surprised that they were able to take a stereotype character and turn him around into more of a role model that could potentially show an improvement in showcasing Middle Eastern characters in the media in more positive ways.